Hello, my name is Ruben, and welcome back to the RG No Tea channel. In an effort to not make my online reputation and just my entire public persona fully die out, I am going to do the long overdue and thing nobody asked for, a record collection overview review showcase thing. Yes, I've got no script. I'm just going to go through every single one. It will take as long as it takes. The CD showcase will happen some other day, but it's not going to happen today because I can't be asked. I'm going to do the CDs today because I prefer music over TV because I've only aged a little bit. Apologies, my hair looks really shit. I feel like this is the collection in its current form. There's two shelves. One of them is fully filled. One of them slowly beginning to grow. And it's currently being held up by a ceramic Deal or No Deal phone. So that's where we're at the moment. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So we're going to start from the top left and move our way down. Okay, now I've switched to my actual Shure microphone, meaning that I won't sound like I'm in a cave or under a sheet or something. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the actual collection. We're going to go from A to Z, obviously, and we're going to start with A. Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. It's the 30th anniversary edition. It's the expanded edition. It comes in a digibook. Here we go. Now we cut into the webcam. I really love this because I haven't... Okay, half of these I haven't actually listened to yet. I just love collecting them because of the artwork and because you can have so much more versatility in a CD than you can with a vinyl record, especially if it's not like a gatefold record. This, you can literally like flip through and you'll see a lot of these types because I love collecting them. Yeah, but that's Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. One of the best, or if not the best, ambient record of all time. Move that over there. Again, we have more Aphex Twin. Come to Daddy. Found that in a charity shop. It's not the full album. When I say album, it was a mini album. It only has 4 tracks, but you know, I'll take anything. Next, and if you remember, classic in the Ruben GV lore, Drux or Drucuse or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I had to buy. This was like the first Aphex record I bought, purely so I could make an ode to Drux. I'm still probably going to make an ode to videos in the future. I have had depression. It has the track listing. Still a gorgeous record. Not a 10 out of 10, like many believe that I think it is. But it's really good and just a staggering presentation of creativity. Oh, here we go. More Aphex. You probably are wondering, oh, what artist is Ruben a big fan of? Aphex Twin. This is Cyro, his comeback album in 2014. I say comeback. He was active in the 2000s. But thing is with this, it just opens up larger and larger, and it has all the production like receipt and how much the production costs. Like, let's have a look. Online advertising in Denmark, because you know, of course, that's what people were wondering. Moving on, we got his EPs. We got Collapse, and then over here, I bought this when it came out. Black Box Live Recorder. They aren't too good in terms of packaging. They literally just open up and then there's the CD. And same with this. It hasn't got really any liner notes, but it's still brilliant. Moving on. Who we got? Oh, we got Fiona Apple, When the Pawn. One of the best piano rock albums ever made. Love it. Oh, here we go. Arcade Fire. They probably haven't got the best reputation after Win Butler, but there's their debut EP. Funeral. I keep holding them upside down. I apologize. Funeral and Neon Bible. I found these two in a charity shop, similar to Come to Daddy, and it was actually in the one that I found Come to Daddy in. Funeral is flawless. Same with The Suburbs. Sprawl 2, a song from their album The Suburbs, is one of the best songs ever made, in my humble opinion. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'm going to kind of slow down. I haven't really talked to a camera in a long time, and also this is just a subject I'm so passionate about. I love talking about music, especially to just people, even if they don't care. That's what I did in my Avalanches, Since I Left You. This is a masterclass of sampling. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 album, but I love the packaging here because this is the 20th anniversary edition with all like the remixes and all the B-sides, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Wait, let me take the discs out. Look at that. I'm gonna be a bit corny in the way that I describe things, and if you hate that, just click off. Like, no offense, but like, who cares? Now this is better. Wildflower. If you haven't listened to Because I'm Me and Frankie Sinatra, they feature the latter feature is Danny Brown and MF Doom. brilliant album. The sampling, the transitions, the verses, and just the structure. I love it. It makes me feel just so happy. A lot of these records actually come from my old mum and dad's CD collection, because obviously they were active in the 90s and they bought albums when they came out on CD. So Pet Sounds is one of them. I've not listened to it. Sorry, it's Pet Sounds. I wish this wasn't the only Beatles album I own, but Please Please Me I found in a charity shop one time, and it's the 2009 remaster, so I thought I'd pick it up. If you can't tell by now, I absolutely love cardboard, digipack, digibook, packaging. Anything other than a jewel case, I absolutely love. I just think it's such a unique way of packaging music or getting artwork out there, because you get so much more freedom of expression than just, oh, there's the tray, there's the front cover, there's the booklet. But you can do so much more versatility. Björk debut and post. Oh, and also this remixed album, what's it called? Telegram. Oh, and here we go. This is for Ewan. Now this is for Ewan. We gotta go to Blur, Leisure, Modern Life is Rubbish, Park Life, The Great Escape, 13, Think Tank. No, I haven't got the self-titled one, sorry, but this 13 is actually a special edition. It comes out and then it has a digipack in it. Not too much to know, and the actual like openings are at the top for some reason. That's a bit odd. I think Blur has got such a better discography than Oasis. A lot of people try to go, oh, who do you like? Do you like Blur or Oasis? But they're both good in their own way. I don't like comparing them, but I think in terms of overall discography, Blur is better. But if we're talking about hit makers and individual songs, Oasis. This, if you can't see, I'm like piling them up next to me, and I feel like it's gonna topple any minute now. A lot of artists I own have B in their name, but we're about to move on to my favourite band of all time. Boards of Canada, baby. If you know me in any way, you'll know just how much Boards of Canada's music means to me. It's really corny to say music saved your life, but Boards of Canada, oh, they did a lot for me. We got Twoism. We've got a original pressing of High Scores in its original kind of sleeve. There is Music Has the Right to Children. There's their EP, which put me down a path that I'm still on to this day, in a beautiful place out in the country. Gio Gaddy, I'll come to that in a second. One of my favourite albums ever, The Campfire Headface, and Tomorrow's Harvest, their most recent album. Again, Gio Gaddy is a digibook, which means it has this really cool kind of 70s kind of, as I don't know how to call it. What's this like home video? Well, it's like a kaleidoscope for some of them, but others are like home films, and it's so brilliant. And it perfectly represents the music. If you haven't listened to the album, it's absolutely brilliant. Oh, again, one of my other favourite bands of all time, Bon Iver. Forever, Forever Ago is part of one of my very personal core memories. I know core memories aren't really a thing, but it means a lot to me. Got me through tough times. Blood Bank contains the title track, which is one of my favourite songs ever. Their self-titled record, which is my fucking phone lock screen. If you know me and you've seen me in public, if you see my phone, that is on my front page. Again, 22 a million, perfect folktronica, and I mean I exists. It's really weird. It comes in a transparent kind of plastic, and then it again folds out into these kind of into that. Here we go. I've actually recently completed his discography. I can't speak. If I have a lisp or mumble or stutter, apologies for that. David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, Hunky Dory, Low, Heroes, Lodger, Outside, and Black Star. Heroes is the best song ever made, no doubt about it. I've actually got some more of his albums coming from eBay, so it's probably the wrong time to film this video. Listen to Earthling, underrated, and all of these, bar Outside, are from my parents, particularly my dad. Shout out to my dad, who's just a massive Bowie fan. I wouldn't be a Bowie fan now if it wasn't for my dad, so
Power to him. Jeff Buckley Grace. I got this from my local record shop. Like, it's like a second-hand record shop, which is also a charity shop at the same time, because it like the people who run my local record shop all have kind of physical disabilities, and the profits made from all the people donating and then selling the secondhand records, they all go to the foundation. And basically what it does, it helps train these people with disabilities to work in a normal setting, if you know what I mean by that. Burial, Untrue, again, one of the best electronic and pioneer of dubstep, if you can believe that. That, by the way, this cost me so much. Like, by the way, there is nothing to this CD. It just opens and it has the disc. There's no booklet or anything. It cost me 15 quid. In HMV, it cost 20 quid. For Untrue, I know it's, like, really sought after because it's such a, like, an essential album for, like, this type of electronic music, but so expensive. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. Kate Bush is one of the greatest female songwriters just of all time. That was the longest bit of the video done, by the way, so thanks for watching that. We're going to go from C to E now. Tracy Chapman, self-titled Fast Car, is again one of the best songs ever. And now we're moving on to one of my favourite kind of artists of all time, especially for electronic dance music. The Chemical Brothers. Exit Planet Dust. There's also Dig Your Own Hole. There's also Surrender. I'm going to come to Surrender in a second. A special edition of Fervor, which also is a digibook, which has these awesome, like, underwater, like, art prints. Some of them, oh, actually, no. Well, only half of them are underwater, but they're still cool. And also Born in the Echoes, which isn't that good. But talking about Surrender, is a special edition of Surrender with 4 CDs. And the art prints that are in this are actually on my wall right now. They're all the single arts. Let Forever Be is one of my favourite, if not my favourite song of all time. Next, we've got Childish Gambino. There's Camp, a single of Firefly, and Because the Internet in a special kind of lenticular packaging, which I got imported from America. I got these back in 2020 and 2021. I'm not the biggest fan of Gambino anymore because I'm not a teenager anymore. But Because the Internet, still really good from concept to execution. Clarence Clarity... Oh, camera's unfocused. Clarence Clarity Know Now. I recently got into this artist, having found him from a fucking Nicholas Cantu video, and then I heard the song Cancer in the Water, and then I went and listened to the whole record, and oh my god, did I fall in love with this man. I'll play a quick clip of one of his songs. It's kind of loud, it's abrasive, but it's also beautiful in a way. He's the main producer who works with Rina Sawayama, by the way, and I've listened to his whole discography now, but this was his only release on a major label. It was with Bella Union, and his is probably his only record I can get on CD. I mean, it is a bit long, it's about an hour long, but there were really good cuts on it. Speaking of Bella Union, Heaven or Las Vegas, again, one of the best albums ever made. Not pioneering, but it's like, if you want to get into like dream pop or that kind of alternative scene, shoegaze and shit, Heaven or Las Vegas is your best starting point. From Cherry Coloured Funk to Frou Frou Foxes, chef's kiss. I actually listened to the entirety of Heaven or Las Vegas on the tube train going to my first ever date, and that's a memory I'll probably hold. I Love Supreme. What a contrast. I can't really get into jazz, but I mean, I love this album, obviously, but I feel like as a music fan, I feel like it's essential to own a Love Supreme because of just how amazing it is. Like, listening to it is like having a fucking anxiety attack. Oh, here we go. Daft Punk. Always a bit of a reference there. We got Homework. We've got Discovery. We've got Human After All. We've got the special 10th anniversary edition of Random Access Memories in a digipack. That's the whole reason I got it. Discovery is my favourite album of all time, and I also think it's the best album ever made. If you've listened to it, or even listened to any of the singles from it, you'll know exactly why I'm saying that, or at least understand if you don't really like it. But yeah, Human After All is way too underrated for its own good. I mean, probably out of the 4, Homework is probably the weakest. It has got songs like Defunk and Around the World on it, but it's still kind of weak. Dick and Dumb in the Bungalow, the album. You know how people say like, oh, this was the first album I ever bought. This was the first album I ever bought. Now we're going to Nick Drake. Nick Drake is just one of the best songwriters ever. Oh, it's a bit of a stark contrast, but Nick Drake was one of the greatest songwriters to ever live. Unfortunately, his time on the earth and his time making beautiful music was just so brief and just so... I don't know how... His music leaves me speechless. In a way, it kind of leaves me speechless in the sense of, wow. And I just don't know what to say. When I listened to his whole discography in a day, and by the time Pink Moon finished, when I listened to From the Morning, I just sat in my chair for like 10 straight minutes, and I was just like, what a man. What an incredible artist. If you are an artist or you want to work in any creative field, Pink Moon is 20 minutes. It's barely 20 minutes long. Listen to it. It is seminal. If you want to be creative, if you want to learn from a man who wanted so badly to be successful yet didn't get it, this is what you should listen to, because not only is it such a raw emotional experience, it's just good music. I would recommend it to anyone. Blonde on Blonde, Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. I used to have this in 2020 because I was kind of an Eminem fan in 2020, like unironically, except from Encore. Encore is so fucking shit. I hate it to this day. Oh, Brian Eno, we got Ambient 1, Music for Airports, and again, one of my favourite albums ever made, Apollo. We're going from F to J now, and would you believe me if I said I'm having to re-record this entire segment because I forgot to film on my main computer, which is where this mic is coming from. Fatboy Slim, you've come a long way, baby. Contrary to a lot of critical opinion, I don't think this is a very good album. There's really good songs on it, like Praise You and that, but as an album, I don't really like it. FKA Twigs, LP1. This was actually my mum's. This was a hand-me-down, and 2 Weeks is one of my favourite songs of all time. I wish I owned Magdalene, her 2019 album, because like Cellophane and like the self-titled track and all of that is so much better. I wish I owned more of her stuff. If you haven't listened to her new album that came out in January, Eusexual, go listen to it. It's brilliant. Fleetwood Mac, Rumours, one of the best 70s albums and soft rock albums ever made. It's a free CD edition, which makes it go out like that. Florence and the Machine, Lungs. Not much to say, but Florence Welch is one of the best living vocalists. Franz Ferdinand, self-titled. If you don't know them, they made Take Me Out. Yeah, it's a good album. I used to be such a big fan of Fred again in about 2021, 2022. But then I heard his new album, 10 Days, that came out last year, and that was absolutely dog water, and I fucking hated it. So I'm not a big fan of him anymore. I mean, his actual life series is still good, especially the first entry. Peter Gabriel, my mum absolutely loves Peter Gabriel, and when I listened to So for the first time, I had it playing on my holiday, like on the speaker, and my mum was just humming along to every single track. It was incredible. I love that for her. Beth Gibbons, Lives Outgrown. This is the first like solo album from the Portishead. Oh, you can see me in the reflection. The Portishead vocalist. I listened to it the night it came out, and I still love it. Gorillaz, Demon Days, not their best album. Plastic Beach is better, but still some incredible hits on here. Shout out to Ben, Green Day, American Idiot. Shout out to Georgia, if she ever sees this, but Grimes, Our Angels, Visions. Visions is my favourite because of how lo-fi it is. This just proves she was so good before like Elon Nazi came in and just doomed her for life, but her just work in the ethereal kind of art pop genre is still so good. Oblivion, they're still amazing tracks. PJ Harvey, To Give You My Love. The Help album, which spawned Lucky by Radiohead. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Sorry, I haven't actually listened to it yet. This is, again, a hand-me-down from my parents. But it was recently rated the best album ever by the Apple Music poll. So, Interpol Antics, I haven't listened to it, but I have listened to Turn on the Bright Lights, which is a 10 out of 10. Maybe Antics will be better. It has more popular songs, but Turn on the Bright Lights is very personal to me because I listened to it on the train to go to my second date. Janet Jackson, The Velvet Rope. Oh, Thriller, Michael Jackson. I mean, none of your favourite artists, especially in the pop genre, would exist if it wasn't for the ground set by Thriller. I don't really know how it's a special edition. I mean, it has him cuddling a tiger. I mean, that and Bad and Off the Wall just are incredible pop albums and disco albums as well that just set the bar so high. Jamie XX. In the Waves, this is his, oh, I can't fucking speak. This is his album that came out last year, and it's so weirdly packaged, right? So you open it, right? And there's the booklet, and you're probably wondering, oh, it's just a normal booklet, right? Look at these pages. Each one is longer than the one before it. So you know how like the infamous rumor about the Blue Monday single, how it cost more than it sold for, so the record label actually lost money for every copy sold. I don't know how they produced this and then sold it at like £8, whatever I bought it for. Only problem with this is I can't get it fucking back in the case. I knew that stack was going to fall over eventually. No, Thriller's in the bin! Michael Jackson's in the bin. I mean, after the fucking Leaving Neverland, probably he always was. Jamiroquai, Shout Out June. Jay-Z and Kanye West, Watch the Throne. This is the special Digipack edition, which you can't really get because it's gone out of print. But there you go. It's bam, bam, and bam. It's not a very good album. It's just a miracle that it even exists. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Such an essential record to own. I actually listened to it like about a year ago, and I was like lukewarm about it. I was like, okay, it's fine. I get how it's legendary, but I don't really like it that much. But then I re-listened to it before I listened to Closer, and I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely brilliant. Just incredible post-punk. We're going to go to my favourite current artist of all time that I listen to like on the way to school and while working. Justice! I'm not a Christian, I'm actually kind of agnostic, but bam, 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 it opens up into a cross. You can't do that with a vinyl record. You could do that with Digipacks, but you can't do that with Gatefold. Huh? It's such an abrasive, like aggressive album, but it's made just so perfectly. And it's like, it flows so well. I love it so much. The live album, Across the Universe, kind of makes me wish that I saw them when they were in Alexandra Palace in February. Audio Video Disco is not much to note, but I have it. What is worth noting is Woman Worldwide. So basically, in 2016, they released an album called Woman. It's not very good. It was really underbaked, undercooked, and it was just really underwhelming. But then they released a remix album, Woman Worldwide, which basically they recorded it like they were doing a live show, and they transformed some of the worst tracks on Woman into just masterpieces. I'll play a quick clip. Absolutely brilliant. And then we have their new album, Hyperdrama, which came out last year. My copy of it is fucking broken. It's got got this massive crease in it. Like, what? I bought it new. I bought it from HMV. I bought it for £7, and something happened to it either in the shop or while I was going home because it's just broken. I mean, the disc's fine and the booklet's fine, but right, now we're going from K to O. Kids See Ghosts. Wait. Kids See Ghosts, the collaboration project between Kanye West and Kid Cudi. A lot of people say this album is overrated, but no, it's perfectly rated. It's still just a masterpiece from both of them, especially the latter. In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. Again, one of the best prog rock albums ever. Good Kid, Mad City. I think if you see Kendrick on the front there, he's a minor. I'm actually low-key sorry. I'm alive. This is my favourite album from him. His best album is obviously To Pimp a Butterfly, but I love every track on Good Kid, Mad City. Oh, here we go. I'm seeing them live. I'm seeing them live in June. LCD Sound System. I got their self-titled album, which opens up like that. And then also one of my favourite albums ever, Sound of Silver. I can't tell you how much I love James Murphy and his work with LCD Sound System, just impeccable music. I wish I owned This Is Happening on CD, because that's also got All I Want, which is one of my favourite tracks from the band. I'm going to have a Tic Tac. Next we got Led Zeppelin. We got Led Zeppelin 2 and Houses of the Holy. I wish I had the whole of the self-titles and also Physical Graffiti, but I'll find them at some point. Again, shout out to Ben. Linkin Park Meteora. Such an incredibly produced and made nu metal album. There we go. A bit of a contrast to Linkin Park, but Madonna, Ray of Light. I love the trip hop influences on this album. And one thing I kind of thought about after I listened to Ray of Light is like, how can artists make just the best album of their career just by a country mile, being so starkly different from anything they made before, and then just never make anything good again? Marabou State, Portraits, Kingdoms in Colour, and Hallucinating Love, their album that came out this year. I actually got this album early because I pre-ordered it because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this band. You might listen to one of their songs and go, well, they're a bit basic, Ruben. You're probably more into alternative music. I'm like, no, it's pretty good. I quite like it. Here we go. Massive Attack, Blue Lines. UK hip hop would not be what it is right now if it wasn't for Blue Lines, or even Protection and general mainstream music if it wasn't for Mezzanine. Massive Attack are just such an incredible band, and they stand for a lot of good things as well, so power to them. I don't want another Massive Attack album. I hope they keep their discography how it is. Another person I don't want releasing another album is MIA. Orilla. This is her debut album and also her best album because it's so pioneering and impeccably produced. The rapping is to be desired for, but MIA was such a creative force in the 2000s, especially with like her albums Carla, and maybe going into the 2010s with Maya and Matangi. But this album is just her seminal work and just represents her in the best way. Political, just fiery, and just really sounding really good. Moby, I like to score, but also his main album, Play. I went and saw Moby perform the 25th anniversary of Play live in the O2 a few months back. I grew up with this album playing. I know pretty much every track of this album, especially the first four: Honey, Find My Baby, Porcelain, and Why Does My Heart Feel So Bad. The rest of his discography isn't very good. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. My mum, when she saw me add this to my collection, said that this album means a lot to her. And you know what? Power to her. This is one for all of you people who can't let my early videos go. Blue Jam. I got it on CDs from Warp Records. I'm not going to talk about it because all of you fucking go on about it. I'm still a fan of Chris Morris. I'm still a fan of all that. You just keep going on about it, and it's starting to get a bit annoying, and that's why I don't talk in Ruben Chord anymore. You guys are chill, but you guys really need to talk about something else. Anyway, Loveless, My Bloody Valentine. The shoegaze album. It's the shoegaze album. 9 Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral. I have not listened to a single track since I listened to this album in full because it's such an unpleasant listen. I really don't enjoy listening to The Downward Spiral, but I know just how good it is, and you know, it deserves the praise it gets. Definitely Maybe, and What's the Story, Morning Glory, the only Oasis albums you really need to listen to because they're just so packed of hits. Frank Ocean, Channel Orange. Unfortunately, one of the only albums he has on CD. I mean, Blonde was released on CD, but it's so rare, you might as well not pay the fucking £200 people offer for it. I really love Channel Orange. I feel like it's much more low-key, where Blonde is much more expansive and much more bigger and bolder. I feel like this is much more understated. Has some great features as well. Now we're going from P to R. Fabiana Palladino, the debut album from one of the artists mentored by Jay and AK Paul, a part of the Paul Institute on XL Recordings. Such an incredible album. It's like art pop and like electro pop and dance pop. So good. Jay Paul even has a feature on I Care. And if you don't know anything about Jay Paul, read my article about him. Oh, a little bit of self-promotion. It's on Medium. I'll put it in the description. Another album I got when it came out, Collapsed in Sunbeams by Arlo Parks. This is still an incredible album. It's singer-songwriter, but it's also got elements of art pop in it. And it's so good. It's so beautiful. It's even signed by Arlo, and I didn't even realize that until like a year after I got it. Pink Floyd Medal. This is actually part of the the Discovery box set, but I found it in that record shop that I talked about earlier. And I just got it because Medal's a good album. Portishead, Dummy, best trip hop album ever. Their self-titled is a bit like lesser quality, but it's still good. I wish their packaging was more varied. I mean, I don't think jewel cases are really that much. The Postal Service give up, the team of Ben Gibbons and the other one. The packaging of this is really cool. Look at that. It goes, and every page has something in it. That has a booklet in it, that has another booklet in it, the original album booklet, that has the discs in it, that has another disc in it. Listen to Such Great Heights and you'll know what I'm talking about. The Prodigy, music for the Tilted Generation. I also have the single release of Breathe, and I also have Fatter the Land. Pulp, we have His and Hers, we have Different Class, and we also have This Is Hardcore. Now, my version of A Different Class is actually really unique because, actually, no, I'm not going to risk it because I've already broken it, and I feel like this is worth a lot of money. You can take out the picture on the album cover and you can replace it with a different one. I love this album though. I think it's one of the best Britpop albums. It was coming. It was coming. You knew it was coming. From the moment you clicked on the video, you knew it was coming. Radiohead. We have The Bends. We have OK Computer. These are two from my mum and dad's collection. They're original pressings. They're just beautifully designed with art by Stanley Donwood. But here we go. Now we're going into the much more unique packaging. Kid A. Of course, one of the highest rated albums ever. This is in a special 2 CD and 1 DVD set. So if I just empty it out. A little booklet with some artwork in it. I think that's the DVD there. There's CD 2. That's also a booklet. And there's the main album. They did all the other EMI albums in this kind of box style. But I feel like I should have got it for Kid A because, yeah. Now this one is arguably the coolest CD I own. Amnesiac. Look at that. That is the book from the album cover. And I mean, you can open it and it's like a library book. It has like stamps in it saying fake dates. And it has even this little sheet that has writing on it. And if you were like just looking at this for the first time with no context, like might as well that could have been just someone writing on it. But then you're probably wondering, is the book loads of writing? All the lyrics? No. It's just absolutely beautiful, sublime artwork. Like from the Amnesiac sessions, and it fits the theming of the record so well. Then we got Hail to the Thief, a really underrated album in their discography, and you're probably wondering, well, that's not the size of a CD. Opens like that. There's the CD there. I'm gonna have to do this now. It's got a map that's got all the like sayings on it from the album cover. Burn the Witch, that wouldn't be used on an album until a Moonshaped Pool. Really, it's a bugger till I get back though. In Rainbows, classic digipack, their best record by a country mile. And then a Moonshaped Pool. I was saying this with some friends the other day, but I genuinely wouldn't mind if this was their last album. If they don't release another album, if they literally just go in public and say, we're ending this, we're calling it quits. I think a Moonshaped Pool is very good to go out on. It's easy on the ears, but heavy on the heart. And then to cap it off, Lou Reed Transformer. Right, now we're going from S to T. There are a lot here. Sebastian, Total, same league as Justice in the Ed Banger Records roster. Yes, that is the same guy kissing each other. It's not gay if it's the same person, okay? Alright. Agnes Barun is the next album on this in my collection. Apparently it came with no fucking booklet, which is quite a shame, but it's still a beautiful post-rock album. Hoppy Polla is the single from Tuck, and according to my mum, Hoppy Polla was the song that was playing as I was born. So enjoyed that a picture, if you will. We've also got Elliott Smith, Ivor Raw, just a beautiful and quiet piece of art. South Park Chef Aid. I found it at a charity shop and I bought it because why not? Big fan of South Park. I'm white. Square Pusher, Ultra Visitor. I have not listened to this album because it's so long and I'm not prepared to listen to grinding drum and bass for an hour and 15 minutes. But oh, please focus. Thank you. The pages in this are really cool. One of them's even transparent, which is awesome. And they're like all math notes because he produces his albums with a lot of like mathematical accuracy. Steely Dan, Aja. Stone Roses self-titled. This would be a 10 out of 10 album if it wasn't for Don't Stop. St. Vincent self-titled, again from that charity shop, secondhand shop that I talked about earlier. Unfortunately damaged because they put this like £2 sticker on it and it stuck to the digipack and it took some of the printing off, which is a shame, but it's still a good album. I'm gonna gloss over this. It's Sun Kill Moon, Benji, their emotional album by a very bad guy. Talking Heads, Remain in Light. Oh, come on. It goes on. We've also got the Streets discography. We have original pirate material. We have A Grand Don't Come for Free. We have The Hardest Way to Make an Easy Living. We have Everything Is Borrowed. We have Computers and Blues. And then we have his album, The Darker the Shadow, The Brighter the Light. Half of them are shit. And I'll let you decide which ones. But don't get the original pirate material is still one of the best UK hip hop albums ever. The Strokes, we got Is This It? We also have Room on Fire, and we also have First Impressions of Earth. Is This It? Garage rock revival, just essential right there. Tame Impala, Currents. It's Tame Impala Currents. Did you know he's only one guy? It's such an incredible album in the psychedelic genre. Shout out to Lonerism as well, also really good. Tricky, Max Shinkway. Tricky's a member of Massive Attack. The Trainspotting soundtrack, again from my mum and dad's collection, because people bought soundtracks back in the day. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm not beating around the bush. I was a teenager once. Goblin, Wolf, Flower Boy, Igor, Tyler the Creator. I mean, this music isn't that bad. I mean, Goblin is a bit shit, but he is probably one of the best active rappers and producers at the moment. I don't really listen to Tyler that much anymore, but you know, his work is good. It's half of it's timeless. We're in the final stretch now. We're going from V to Z. Vampire Weekend, self-titled. I don't know why the name's not on there. Baby Driver soundtrack. The whole reason I have this in my collection is so I can have the Sky Ferreira song that's on it. Jessie Ware, That Feels Good. I found this in a charity shop, which is quite surprising considering how recently it was released. The War on Drugs, Lost in the Dream. Oh, beautiful album. Under the Pressure, the first track on this, is one of my favorites of all time. Warp 10+3 remixes. It's got loads of Balls of Canada remixes and Aphex and Orteka and Nightmare on Wax. It's Warp Records, okay? I found it in my dad's collection. House of Balloons. I turned 14 the other day. It's still just an incredible first thing to appear on the scene with. Still trying to find the other two mixtapes on CD, but despite being a big fan of The Weeknd, the only other album I have of his is Beauty Behind the Madness. I mean, it has got some amazing singles on it, but not beating around the bush. Kanye West. We've got the College Dropout. We've got Late Registration, Late Orchestration, his live album at Abbey Road. Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Yeezus. You know, despite everything recently, Kanye West still has an impeccable discography. Out of these, I'd say my favorites are Yeezus and Late Registration. Yeezus got me into electronic music, and my favorite packaging. But I mean, you're probably wondering, oh, it's just a normal digipack. Stop there. You can actually customize the album cover. So if I do that and then close it, now it's different. Now it's the original cover. Anyway, the White Stripes. We've got White Blood Cells. We've got Elephant. We've also got Get Behind Me, Satan. And also Icky Thump. It's not in its case at the moment because I'm filming something with it. Here's proof that I do actually have it. It's in Mr. Hen right now. And finally, to close out my record collection, Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. I mean, we love Amy Winehouse. She was just, again, gone too soon. And again, like, abused by the media. And that was my record collection. Thank you for staying with me. This video is probably about half an hour long if you've watched all the way or listened to me while playing a game or doing something interesting. Thank you. I do genuinely appreciate it. I'm going to get back to making main channel videos and also videos on here soon. I'm doing school at the moment, so I don't really want to trued that with making a video and getting the burden of that project. And also, mental health really sucks. I'll make a post about it on my community tab at some point on the main channel. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Follow me on Instagram because I'm most active on there, and also on AOTY if you want to track what music I'm listening to. Thank you.